Wow, this place is amazing! I mean, I personally don't read, but I am loving the way they built this. I wonder if RD's here. Bet she'd be chatting. She is one of my faves, after all. Oh, there she is!
Wow. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, but I could never be friends with some pony who's willing to believe impossible stuff is possible as long as Daring Do does it.
That's okay, because I could never be friends with some pony who's so focused on things being possible that he's willing to turn his back on the coolest hero of all time.
So this starts off with Daring Do, who we haven't seen since Daring Don't. I swear, she and Rainbow are related somehow. They look too f***ing similar. What is it with Pegasi and forgetting they have wings? Why won't you fly? Unfortunately, the adventure is cut short when Twilight stops reading. Can you imagine if that's how real life played out? Look at that ball fly! That mare sure can throw, ain't that right, Curve? Sure thing, Screw. Looks like our outfielder Cold Leatherglove is going for the catch. And... okay, that's enough of that. Time for bed.
Don't worry, I'll make sure AK Yearling signs your book.
AK Yearling? That sounds like J.K. Rowling. Wait a minute, is Daring Do supposed to be Equestria's Harry Potter? Also, if Twilight and Celestia are going back to Griffinstone, I think I'd rather see that. I mean, it's almost a Celestia episode. So yeah, Equestria has conventions. That's pretty cool. Unexpected, but cool. Makes you wonder if they have a Raricon too. So Rainbow checks out the place and bumps into Remy. Wait. Oh my god, it's Patton f***ing Oswalt, the guy who played Remy in Ratatouille. That shit was so good. I watched it like 4 times each night for a month when I was 10. Holy crap! Oh my god!
I don't care about anything else in the episode.
Good catch. Oh, I'm Quibble Pants.
It's funny because definitions. Also, why is RD's costume not as accurate as Quibble's? He even dyed his mane from the looks of it, and again, she and Daring are practically sisters.
Because on page 84 of Sapphire Stone, it describes her dodging a, quote, score of arrows shooting forth from holes in the very walls, unquote. But then, on page 107, Daring Do says she, quote, barely made it past the trap's barrage of arrows, unquote. But clearly, Daring Do is embellishing, and the correct number of arrows is 20!
Okay, even I'm not that picky about costume details, and I'm a perfectionist. So we get a convention montage to increase the shippers, which is then stomped on by the two lovebirds after an intense argument about stories. Sounds familiar, but I can't put my hoof on it. Picking a side here is hard. Artie's arguments are pretty invalid. She calls the books awesome without giving reasons for why, and she uses the "because I know so" comeback in an attempt to hold her ground. Quibble uses detail to argue, but throws it out the window to say he couldn't possibly be friends with some pony who believes differently than him. Both sides here seem childish and can't figure out things about the books they both enjoy other than Daring Do's supposed awesomeness. So RD sets out to find Daring Do, AK Yearling, to use as a credible source, and it turns out we got some baddies looking for an amulet. I'm getting an Indiana Jones vibe here, and I'm not sure why. What kind of cutie mark is that? Is his talent swearing, or maybe bloodshed? Either way, I find it very confusing and oddly disturbing.
Well, if it isn't the pony who knows impossible things can happen, because she just does.
Childish. Rude.
No, wait! I want to hear more about how you're 100% sure that in Curse of the Jungle Queen, Daring Do could survive a 60-story drop from the top of a waterfall after sustaining a broken wing in a Category 6 rapid.
I'm right there with you, Quibs. That sounds pretty unrealistic.
Where are you going? And we're out here because...
You know, you don't have to follow her. You're obviously annoyed by her. So RD and Quibble get kidnapped, and Quibble is still in denial of this adventure being real. Okay, bro, I may be a skeptic myself, but if I had been stuffed in a sack and locked up in chains, I'd still be slightly concerned. Maybe have a slight uneasy feeling at least.
You know of it. Further proof that you are an agent of Daring Do.
Or an avid reader.
My thoughts exactly, Quibs.
All 4? I mean, shouldn't at least one of them stay behind to guard us? Oh, wait, no, because then it wouldn't be a terrible daring-do adventure.
Or, you know, they could be stupid. What? So Quibble Pants somehow saves the lock. Seriously, was that in the books too? Then the two set out on getting back.
Make Daring Do left hook, which we know is false, and that is everything that's wrong with Daring Do and the trek to the terrifying tower. Now, the problems with the next book.
So the two try to cross a precarious bridge that every adventure story needs, and Quibble falls while also giving us some pretty entertaining patent screams. And some fanboy moments, again increasing the shippers. I'm shocked that Quib still thinks this is an adventucation. Bruh, you almost died, and the bridge had no pony staff to prepare for this exact situation. Hell, it was a real chasm. I'd start believing, skeptic or not. I like how this guy doesn't even try to tighten the rope because he knows Quibble isn't buying it. Speaking of not buying it, Quibble Pants goes on another rant about how unrealistic this adventucation is. I mean, come on, Quibble is being so logical and particular on how it could be fake and how... Okay, who am I kidding? I'm on his side with this one. Think about it. Quibble is catching all the cliches in an adventure story and calling out other logical explanations. The bridge scenario? Yes, it could have been a park malfunction. It happens, and while having no park staff would be slightly suspicious, it could very well be poor management. Actors? Sure, I'd buy it. They aren't hurting them, and while I could throw the "it's a kids show" excuse, the option is still there from a realistic standpoint. Employees aren't supposed to harm the customers. They use force, but not in a way that could injure ponies. He does have some valid points. However, there is one possible thing that could be a counter-argument. Daring Do has been around for a good while in the show, long before RD was a real fan. With that in mind, this convention could have been around just as long a time. If this staff of people running this adventucation have been here for a while, wouldn't have some pony else called them out and reported them on their poor management? Other than that, I could side with him. At least until a bloodthirsty monster and the main character show up. Yep, that's right. He only buys it when an alligator tries to eat him and when Daring Do herself saves his tail. Doesn't question that it could be an animatronic or a puppet, doesn't question that Daring Do is an actor like Hablaron, just decides we've had enough skepticism and accepts it. Maybe he sensed our pain and decided to spare us. I swear, these faces just keep getting better and better. So the daring trio set out to find the treasure, and Quibble helps out. In the most irritating way possible. Son, I get you know the answer, but do you have to be a smartass about it? And then the team escapes the drowning temple.
You said go over him!
I said go around him!
Yeah, he did say that.
Go around! You can't go over him!
The two come to a compromise, being that they like Daring Do based on different traits she has. And we get more fuel for the shippers. I'm scared as to what the fanbase has already done with these two.
You, Rainbow Dash, are awesome.
Well, I'm not the one who can locate a treasure in half the time Daring Do can.
I love this part. It shows how much Rainbow has matured over the seasons. She doesn't even mention that in her mind he's right. She calls him awesome back. RD seems to actually becoming more humble. But really, Rainbow?
You may have terrible taste in books.
You read the same series. The episode comes to an end with an entertaining credit sequence, and that's stranger than fanfiction. I feel as though this episode targets us analysts, reviewers, and skeptics in our antics. Quibble is almost what I see in the mirror minus the obvious saltiness that is important to put aside for the sake of a proper argument. As a skeptic and agnostic who prefers to believe in truth and only truth, seeing that same mindset and behavior displayed here is kind of funny. It's also nice to see an Indiana Jones parody, but that's not important. I always enjoy the new facial expressions being used. They're way more expressive and downright hilarious, especially RD's gem of a face here. The dialogue was believable, the characters' actions made sense, the humor was alright, and it was totally relatable. I mean, it is a convention after all. The moral was fantastic. Just because your viewpoints and opinions are different doesn't mean you are destined to be enemies. You can be friends despite your differing opinions, likes and dislikes. And I adore that. This kind of moral can be spread out to every fanbase along with their haters in today's society. Although, it ain't perfect. Sometimes Quibble was just downright stupid, and the two lovebirds could have been a bit less childish at some moments, but overall, I thought it was pretty good. I'd give it 4 Novas out of 5. And so, with the music playing, I am Cavatina.
Side character. I don't want to kind of name it right now because it's sort of this thing that I've already written a lot of fan fiction on.
Bruh, I get you're a critic, but even I don't go that deep. Hi RD, I'm Cav. It's nice to meet you.